Welcome to Monday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. One of my favorite days today, and I'm so sad that we're not together. Well, today we're going to talk about how to write ordered pairs and plot them on the coordinate plane, or how we would use the coordinate plane to identify an ordered pair. So to start off, to describe the locations of points on the ordered plane, on the coordinate plane, we would use ordered pairs of numbers. And so order is extremely important. And on the coordinate plane, we always follow the form x, comma, y. And I always like to think of how x comes before y in the alphabet. So the first coordinate represents the point's location from 0 on the x-axis. Just like a number line, we have 0, and if I were to go to the right, it would be positive, and to the left would be negative. And the second coordinate represents the point's location from 0 on the y-axis. So it's a vertical number line starting at 0. Above would be positive, and beneath or below would be negative. And this is where you can think of like a thermometer or sea level. Going above sea level would be positive, below sea level would be negative. So when we write our ordered pairs, we follow the x, comma, y. We have 4 quadrants that go around our origin. Oh, some neat little facts. The term origin means starting point. A person's country of origin is the country from which they came. And then when we use GPS when traveling, the origin is always wherever you start your trip. So just some fun facts for the word origin. So starting in the upper right quadrant, so quad meaning 4. So quadrant 1, this is where I would travel to the right, which is positive x, and then I would go up, which is positive y. Quadrant 2, and you'll notice we write these in Roman numerals, where I would go to the left of my origin, which would be negative x, and up, which would be positive y. Quadrant 3 is going to be the exact opposite of quadrant 1, and it's going to be negative, negative, because we went to the left and down. And then quadrant 4 is going to be the opposite of quadrant 2, so this would be positive, negative. And today we're really focusing on just quadrant 1, positive, positive. Something that you want to always remember, besides starting at the origin, 0, 0, is that we are going to crawl before we climb. So first we either move to the left or the right, and then second we would move up or down. So if let's say I want to plot a point, let's say that we plot a point right here. So if I'm going to plot my point here, I'm starting at 0, 0, and I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces to the right. And so because we go to the right or left first, we have 7, but I never left my x-axis, which means my y would still be 0. If, let's say, I plotted a point right here, again, we're going to crawl before we climb. So we're going to go to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would become 3, 7. So we're going to crawl before we climb. Now, here's the thing. You'll notice on this graph or on this coordinate plane, I was counting by ones. So each of the squares had equaled one whole. That's not always the case on coordinate planes. You have to pay very close attention to what the scale is. And in this coordinate plane, and we're only looking at quadrant 1, but in this coordinate plane, so everything's going to be positive x-axis and positive y-axis. And remember, we're always going to go x comma y. So if we're looking at A, and I'm going to start off with my x, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 boxes, but each box doesn't equal 1. They actually equal a half. So if I go 3 boxes, I've gone 1 whole and a half. Now, it's completely up to you on how you want to write these, whether that means you want to write them as fractions or decimals. I personally prefer writing them as a decimal, but in your practice today, your answer check has them both. So either way you do your enter your answers in, it should come up as a correct option. And then, so we went 1.5 to the right along the x-axis, and then going up, we're going to go up to 3.5, so 3.5. Oops. B, again, we're going to travel along the x-axis first, so to the right. So I'm going to come to 4, but you'll notice that B is located in between 4 and 4.5. So that means that B would be at 4.25 for my x-axis, and then traveling up to 4 for my y-axis. And then last, C, we are going to move to the right first to 3, and then up 2. So it would be 3, 2. Okay, so now it's your turn to practice with this quadrant 1 coordinate plane. And so go ahead and practice finding the ordered pairs for A, B, and C. And then you're going to click next.